lads and lasses and everyone else. As you can see, I'm having a jumble sale. Well, it looks like a bloody jumble sale. No, I thought, well, I want to get out. So I thought, right, first thing I'll do, go and check all my stuff, all my winter stuff. Because I haven't been out since the summer, so... and I thought, well, instead of just doing it myself, I thought, you know, there might be some people who just started metal detecting. They might have only done the summer months, and they're not thinking about the winter months, which we tend to do in the UK, you know, until it's too late. So I thought, right, I might as well just talk you through the way I go about things, and maybe you can all throw in a bit of, you know, a few extra things, and you know, it all helps, doesn't it? Basically, that's what it's about, helping each other. Now, so let's start over here. What I tend to do, because with me being sort of at that age, you know, over 30, I tend to feel the cold a bit more. So I'll just talk you through a few things. First thing is the old socks, right? Now these, I don't know if you can see that, they're called sealskins. They're not made from sealskins, that's just the name of them. And they're a waterproof sock. You can put these on, you can stand in a bath of water, as long as it doesn't go over the top and the water doesn't get through. But if your feet get hot and clammy and all that, it allows moisture out. So if you've got moisture around your feet and it gets cold, then that's where you end up with cold feet. So what I tend to do with these, someone says, oh, they're cold and all that when you put them on. They can be a bit cold. They're made of all different stuff to give them that property where they let moisture out but not let moisture in. So what I tend to do, the warmest place in the morning, well, I think, or when you're at your warmest, is when you got up and you jump in the shower. You get out the shower and you're lovely and toasty and everything. So I turn these inside out. I'll put them on the radiator in the bathroom, and then when I get out the shower they go straight on. Make sure my feet are dry and all that properly. They go straight on, along with I've got them all out here. I've just checked them all. My thermals, t-shirts and long johns. So they go on straight away. So nice and warm already. Right, then just move on to your, whatever you're putting on. I tend to, in the winter, I tend to go for the worst, expect the worst, and if it's better than what you thought, then good, but always go for the worst weather conditions I'm talking about. So yeah, look, as I say, it's like a bloody jumble sale. My normal detecting trousers, right, just sling them over there, they'll go on. And then I used to have a pair of these and I lost them all, I can't remember now, and I never got round to renewing them, but I have now. And the gaiters, and as you know, the waterproof and all that, they'll go on the bottom of my trousers, and they keep above your boots and all that a bit dry. Well, a lot dry actually. I think that these are only £4 on eBay. They're not the, it's got a name on, but they're not the proper name obviously. I think they're about £20 odd, the proper named ones. I mean, them socks were £22, believe it or not. Right, so they'll go on my trousers, the gaiters. I've already got the thermals on and all that. Then I never wear a polo neck. I know some people say, oh, I'll wear a polo neck in the winter. We can have all the seasons in one day in the UK, we know that. We've all been there, got the t-shirt. If you put a polo neck on and it gets a bit warm, the only thing you can do is take the polar neck off. You can't roll it down because it pops back up again and all that. So this is what I prefer, I should say. It's like a polar neck jumper, but it's buttoned. So if it does get warm, I'll just open all these buttons. So it's letting, get a bit of air to my neck area and all that. Right, so that'll go on over them. Then the next thing, like bloody Michelin man, is a fleece shirt. Now the reason I like this fleece shirt, the zip goes right up the collar. Don't know if you can see that, I think. Some of them stop here before the collar. This one goes right the way up. So basically that can be like a polar neck shirt, if you understand. So that can go on as well if I want. Right, and then we're looking at, I'll just have to sit down a bit, do my bloody back in. There's these type of trousers. Now these are slightly padded, waterproof, but I say only slightly padded, but they do work, they do keep the cold out, right? So I've got them. I don't put them on, by the way. Then over here, I got this from, well, Aldi. You must have Aldi in other countries, America and Australia, I presume so. Well, I got this 2 years ago, and it's a bib and braces. It's for fishing actually, a fishing suit. So, and this is well padded, this. You can see that, it's got the bib part and all that. I tell you what, with that on, you're warm, you're very, very warm. So, if it's really cold, that'll go on over my trousers. Them thin trousers, I usually just leave in the car and all that, in case I need to swap over, sort of. And this is the jacket to them trousers. A good waterproof jacket. I think it was 40 quid for the two of them. But to keep yourself warm is it's not bad. Right. And the last thing to go on before I go out the door, and I like to put them on before I go out the door for a simple reason. You leave them in your car. We've all done it. I've done it even in the past. Is your boots. Whatever you do, don't leave them in the car. You get a good winter's night, below 0 or something like that. You're all nice and warm when you come out, you get to where you're going, you take off the shoes or whatever you've put on, and you put a pair of cold boots on that's been in the car overnight. Doesn't make sense, does it? So, I try and keep them clean, give them a clean when I've been out and used them, and hopefully let them dry before I use them again. So I can put them on in the house, no mud's getting, threaded about all over the place. And these boots, I've found are brilliant. They're a Jack Pike Tundra. Is it Tundra? Yeah, Tundra or Tundra boot. And they're fully waterproof and breathable, which is another good thing because it doesn't hold the moisture in them. It lets the moisture out but doesn't let the moisture in. So for anyone who's got or think to get a good pair of boots, a couple of little tips. These are brand new. I'll show you now. Still got the labels on though. Because the last pair I had of these, I had an old, well, I had a garden spade. I didn't have a proper detecting spade. I just had a garden spade, and I cut it into a V at the front, made it pointy and all, it looked like a metal detecting spade, although it wasn't. And after about I don't know, 3-4 months. My feet was getting a bit wet. Well, one foot was getting a bit wet. I thought, what's going on here? Anyway, I checked my boots out, and underneath, I'll show you now. Underneath, just at that part, was a hole. And all the time digging, it was just wearing there. And eventually, it put a hole in there. Anyway, I got some, I can't think what it's called now, shoe gunk or something like that. And I filled it all in. But the other thing I was doing, as an idiot, is when you're filling your holes back in, I was using my foot, you know, this sort of thing. When you've put most of them in with the spade and then you drag the rest in. And what happened? Another couple of months later, it gave way along here. The sole started coming away. Right? Now that's not the fault of the boots, that's my stupidity. So don't use your boots for what they weren't intended to do. They weren't intended to use as a scraper for putting soil back in holes, and they weren't intended for using a sharp spade to dig holes with, because you end up the hole there. Right, so that's that out the way. Where can we go now? Headwear, right? Well, you've seen me daft that I wear. I'll still try and wear that, but also I've got the owl, what are these called? Beanies or bloody something, I don't know. Anyway, noddy hats or whatever. But this, again, is my favourite, and it's a snood. And while like this, you can take it off. Keep your neck warm, but you can, if it's too warm, you can just take it off. And it's got the pull strings on it, so you can pull it tight round your ears and all that. And my hat can even go over the top of that, you know, like that. Look, you look a bloody idiot, like, but who cares if you're warm? So that's why I like using a snood instead of the bobble hats. And to gloves, oh, I've got a very thin pair of woolen gloves here. Nothing to them at all. And then I've got these waterproof thermal gloves. So what I tend to do, if it's really, really cold, I'll put them thin gloves on, and then I'll put them over the top. A double layer is always better than a single layer. If the air can circulate in between, it keeps your hands pretty warm, and they don't get clammy with them being like a wool. So that's roughly about it. I bet you're thinking, bloody hell, must take 3 hours to get ready, but I checked the weather first, so I've got a good idea, or a rough idea. But basically, if I've got it with me and the weather changes and I've got it on, it gets a bit warm, I can take them off. It's not a problem. And you know me, you've seen me, I take my bag and me stool together and I put it in the field and I go off and come back and go off and come back. So I can take stuff off and leave it with my bag, and then you know, it's as simple as that. I can just come back to it if I need it again. If it gets cold again, put it back on again. So I think that's about it, roughly. Oh, that's it, yeah, I forgot to add. But if you haven't got it and it's bloody cold, you can't put it back on, can you? So that's what I meant to say. So that's roughly about it. Oh, hang on, no, this, I knew I'd forget something. Now this is always in my bag. It's a thin camo jacket, right? And if I've got all that big heavy gear on, I take it off, and all of a sudden a little bit gets a bit cool, you know, the wind or gets up or the sun goes in. Instead of putting all that back on, if it's not cold enough for that, I'll get this out of my bag and I'll put that on over my shirt and that jumper I showed you, or I'll take the shirt off and just leave the jumper on, put that. I can mix and match all the time. Anyway, I'm born, you know, so I'll let you get on. But as you can see, I'm gearing up. I'll be out this week. And any tips that you want to add or whatever, then by all means add your tips. But the most important thing to say, if you do suffer with the cold, get warm before you go out. Make sure your gear's warm before you put it on, and go out already wrapped up, that from head to toe. Don't change nothing when you get there and put it on, up the boots and all that. You'll get warm eventually, but you'll be cold initially until you do warm up, and it's not very nice. Right, so I will see you soon. So this is the end of the jumble sale. Job lot going here. Any bids on it, well, you know. And I'll see you all soon. Alright, take care everyone. And good hunting. Ta-ra for now.